war of all wars is here. I've now finished God of War Ragnarok, so it's time to sound the horn on the review. This is God of War Ragnarok. Don't go away. So God of War Ragnarok, the follow-up to 2018's God of War. In 2018's God of War, I did play, but it's in a weird spot because I barely remember anything from that game. I remember liking the combat, I remember the world serpent thing is cool AF, and I remember that the ending was extremely good. Which is weird because I played it the same year that Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and I remember so much of Red Dead 2. And to start this review, God of War Ragnarok is a story-heavy game. So let's start there.
Thank you.
And I gotta say, it's one of those rare stories that I can't do it justice by just saying it's that damn good. I've always found that the hardest part of reviews is trying to explain a game story that is so well done, because it's the kind of thing, it's like you just have to play it to experience it. Because God of War Ragnarok's story is pretty okay actually until the final 10% of the game. That's when the story's stock skyrockets. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, Michael, this is a 35-hour game. Are you telling us that this game actually starts to get really invested in the story at the 30-hour mark? Yeah. This game's story runs slow boil for a long time. You're slowly getting acquainted with old and new characters, exploring the realms, and there isn't truly a whole lot of oh shit moments until you reach about the 29 to 30 hour mark. Major spoilers ahead. For those of you who've played, you know that once Odin reveals that he was Tyr himself.
What's with him calling you Loki anyway?
Oh,
you know that ain't his name.
Shit.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
Fuck me.
All the things, Odin.
Oh my god.
Your brother is throwing me the mask and you've got a deal.
This is the most cinematic, high-budget experience game I've ever seen. This looks like the most amount of money a developer or Sony's ever put into any game. This is the kind of cutscenes that you would show people from the past of what games can be in the future. That's a cool fucking transition, holy shit. But going back around to the story, nothing will make you get out of your seat or get super invested in until the very final 10-15% of this game. With, of course, a few asterisks on the side. I will say, you do have some great, amazing characters here. And one of the moments that I really did get invested in the story before Ragnarok actually happens is Brock's story. The two blacksmith dwarves have returned, Sindri and Brock, and man, I wish they got a lot of dialogue, and I still wish they got more.
We traveled to Vanaheim.
Well, guess it's just us then.
But I love how Brock's story was done here. Sindri drops the tiniest hint that, hey, Brock died before, but I got his soul back. Some of it. And the player's thinking in that moment, this has to come up at some point. But you're not really sure when that's gonna happen. You're not really sure how it's gonna happen. And when it does, he's rightfully pissed. Fuck! But Kratos just goes character development mode and gets down on one knee and just says, this weapon needs to be blessed by a master blacksmith. And this was such a perfect scene. Brock is my favorite character in the game.
Mr. Blessing just fucked off into the tomb.
It needs the blessing of a great blacksmith. What?
Of course, you have the man Kratos, and I will say Kratos is gotta be one of the most rootable characters of all time. Complete god. Literally. You have Freya's brother who comes in with, get this, a bit of comedy added to this game. God of War Ragnarok has a exceptionally serious tone throughout the entire story, which builds up to the final act, which I'll talk about later.
Your boat.
Nope. Your boat.
But Freya's brother was a breath of fresh air. Also, Freya here plays a much larger role in the fact that she's part of gameplay now. I think Freya has one of the most complete stories here in Ragnarok, going from being tied down to one realm because of Odin to freeing herself to reuniting herself with her brother, and they had a whole conflict in the past, and in the end fighting Odin, which, by the way, you have Odin himself, who I think is probably my second favorite character behind Brock.
This young man, who is my guest, is covered in mud. Care to explain?
Flip.
He means to betray you.
Is that true, Loki? You a little trickster? I'm just messing around. Of course he means to betray me.
He was just so well done. He always felt like he was underplaying his strength. Like Odin, this was the god that keeps Thor in the doghouse. Thor is scared enough to stay in the doghouse because of this guy.
Yep, just over here.
Imagine there's like 10
Feel
hot
free to
babes.
come and go. Take what you need, poke around.
Owen's really setting the
You're not
trays
my
up.
prisoner. And more importantly, I'm not your father.
Allfather, there's a situation that needs your attention.
Sif,
Oh, it's
you're
happening!
welcoming our
And of
new
course you
guest.
have
Say hello to
Atreus.
Loki.
And I'll be honest here, this should be called God of War Ragnarok, Atreus' story. I don't like Atreus. Atreus had a pretty high attitude of himself in 2018's God of War. Okay, he was pretty young. In fact, hilariously, he was way younger than I remember, because I actually saw a clip of 2018 God of War, right? And I forgot how small he was. Like, listen to his voice.
Excited to finally see the land of the giants?
Yeah, but also sad the journey's almost over.
Atreus here, in my opinion, the game doesn't give you a reason to even like this guy.
You better screw his head back on. And I mean tightly.
Bro, even Sindri says fuck Atreus at this point. Holy shit.
Every step of this path.
Oh, okay. So you don't believe in her anymore either?
This is not about your mother. What you have done is lie.
Wonder where I learned that.
That's quite enough.
You think Atreus would be like, oh shit, Freya's here too.
Since when do you always take his side?
Since he became the one making sense.
And the only way he's relatable in any way is if you're also a 15-year-old playing this game who hates his family. I get that he wants to carve out his own path, but that's his one and only storyline. He constantly repeats, I'm Loki, I want to carve out my own path, I want to see my destiny. And when things don't go his way, he constantly freaks out. And the first couple times I was like, okay, I get this story. I get what the game's going for with Atreus' character. But on like the fourth or fifth times of him freaking out and ruining what I thought would be good moments, it's like, again, bro?
I'm not hungry anymore.
This fucking dumbass. He literally just threw away a giant into a snake's body, got all pissy because it didn't work out for him, and now he's throwing the giants back onto this chick.
Let's get back.
Are you going to continue to lie and keep things from me? Or are you my son?
Choose? I never get to choose. Just leave me alone.
You literally get the choice right now.
Let go of me.
Listen!
Say, let go!
Bro, fuck Atreus. What the fuck? Now the other side of this is that this just makes Kratos seem that much more likable and rootable, because he's the main character that you play as. Even though the story is more focused on Atreus, you're playing as Kratos, and you're watching this guy deal with a literal animal as a child. Here's an example of one of his freakouts that just made me go like, really, dude? The whole first 10-hour setup of this game is Atreus wants war, but he doesn't say he wants war. He's just freeing Tyr and getting ready for Ragnarok. Just, you know, I don't want war though. But when he actually sees a prophecy of war, of Ragnarok, that depicts death, I thought, I mean, that's pretty average. People are gonna die in Ragnarok. I would like, okay. He apparently didn't really know that.
This isn't real. Ironwood's not real. The Ungar's not real. None of this is real.
Hey, hey! Whoa, whoa, you're okay. You're okay. It's all alright. It'll be okay. Look at me.
Before we get to the actual Ragnarok of God of War Ragnarok, the story's pacing is pretty okay. It has a couple dip points because at one point, Atreus has like a dream sequence, which by the way, you physically play as Atreus in this game multiple times for hours on end. It doesn't help that I don't like Atreus as a character. It also doesn't help that you pick apples for 4 hours with this chick. You do end up having a boss fight against her grandma, which I gotta say, visually, auditorily, gameplay wise, sick boss fight. Story wise, I don't care. This grandma chick never shows up again. It could have been removed from the game and the whole story doesn't change. The full impact.
Why are you so vain? Not even Loki! You'll just be a forgotten chapter in his story! He'll be too busy mourning.
Bro, are you gonna walk outside? What is this walk? Go!
I see you again!
But all this slow boiling story leads to Ragnarok. I cannot get across enough how invested I was in. Literal chills leading up to Ragnarok. When everyone's getting their armies ready and you're ready to blow the horn to initiate Ragnarok. Holy crap.
So be it. Good luck to us all.
Holy fuck. I feel like I'm getting like chills getting ready for this fucking war. Woo! Are you fucking ready, Atreus? We're gonna fuck some shit up! Come on! And for the first 10 minutes of Ragnarok, it is like the world around me didn't exist. It was all me, the game. You feel like you're in Kratos' shoes. The stacks, the odds, like everything is so high of stakes. And that 10 minutes is some of the most memorable gameplay from a game ever.
Ready yourselves.
And then it fizzles out. I was hoping for some like Lord of the Rings, like the best versus the best. Odin, Thor, everyone he's got versus Kratos. Get everyone involved. Get the serpent involved. Freya's here. What actually happens is as soon as you enter Ragnarok, it's crazy. Here come the Valkyries. Here come the elves, the dark elves. But then the gates die. And 5 or 10 minutes in, it's like, we lost all armies. And then dialogue starts happening, which is, like, that's not Ragnarok to me isn't like sitting down for dialogue. It's like, okay, all of our armies are dead. We still got this giant fire guy. We can breach the wall.
About bloody time he showed up.
But then Kratos has a change of heart, and I agree with him. Odin sent out civilians to get destroyed in the catastrophic wall break.
Oh, a bold move by the manager!
We have to save these guys. So I thought, okay, pick him up, get him out of here. But instead, we're gonna break the wall a different way, and we're gonna have Freya and her brother play background combat against the giant fire guy. And I was like, this isn't Ragnarok. This is just Kratos and Atreus trying to 2v2 Thor and Odin. I was really expecting some like huge battlefield, Lord of the Rings giant battle with everyone performing at their highest potential possible. And although I didn't get that, the lead up to Ragnarok and the first 10 minutes of going through the gate will be forever etched in my mind. But that still wasn't the most impactful, I guess, emotion I would say that I had throughout this game. The most impactful thing to me was once it was over, the amount of relief I found was crazy. Like 10,000 pounds were lifted off my shoulder once I realized that it's all over and Kratos can rest. Kratos to me is just one of the best characters, man. Like, to me, he's got like so many calluses on his hands, so much blood. He's been fighting his whole life. You just want him to rest. Like this whole story, he's dealing with the Trace. He's forced into this war with Ragnarok. You just want him to sleep, have some quiet time. But that's my thoughts on the story. My thoughts on gameplay? Get ready for your testosterone to triple.
That's called a big counter, motherfucker. Oh, I hit your friend then, huh? You let your friends take your shots for you, bro? Huh? Like the kind of man you are. Get him! Freya! You're going nowhere! Yo, bitch!
I'm not kidding. When I'm in combat, my hands grip the controller. There isn't like cool combo button inputs you can do until like later in the game. There's like one or two. But I will say they added a new weapon, the spear. The spear is either the best or the worst weapon simultaneously. I don't know why. It either does major or minimal damage. Of course, you got the axe and the Chaos Blades, and personally for me, I was a huge fan of the Chaos Blades. I wish there was stats at the end of the game you could see weapons used most. It would definitely be Chaos Blades for me. And my favorite thing in combat was the shield. I loved the shield I picked up. I don't know where I got it, but I could charge up a double charge and hit a guy with it, and it'd be slow-mo.
Bitch!
It worked really well. Shields are also part of parrying, which is imperative to beat strong bosses, which, by the way, the bosses in this game are really strictly saying, I should say the god bosses in this game are they're just extremely easy. You fight this god at one point, Heimdall, extremely overconfident man. You beat him harder than like grunts. You beat him easier than like grunts. Then you fight Thor while Ragnarok's happening, right? A pretty okay fight, pretty easy, nothing insane happened. And then you fight Odin, right? The third god boss. And you'd think, wow, he's got to have some trickster abilities. Like, what if he changes into Atreus' appearance and tricks Kratos? No, he just tries to hit you with a spear. You never feel like you're fighting a god. But on the other hand, there are some opponents in this game that kicked my ass. Opponents you find throughout these realms that'll just like get up and completely surprise you with their strength and abilities. And these boss fights are damn good.
Oh, is that him? Just hide him behind a shield. It's like boss. Let's do this, buddy. Oh shit, cause this guy's actually good. Okay, this guy's fucking good. Bro, this guy fucked me way harder than Heimdall ever did. What the fuck?
And as I mentioned the realms there, this is one of my two favorite things from this game. Exploring the realms. You'll quickly recognize the pattern of God of War Ragnarok of lots of story moments followed by exploring the realm. And these are like semi-open worlds that have lots of side quests, lots of stuff to explore, treasures. And I'm telling you, when you get the chance to explore stuff here, time flies. And they only get better and better and better. The last realm you explore was so cool. There's a well in the last realm you explore that you like drop these crystal shards in that you can find throughout the entire map, and it gives you rewards. The well was the coolest part of all the realms for me. Presentation. You can see this game. You've seen the gameplay on screen. This game kicks ass visually. Looking at these cutscenes, you already know how much effort and budget went into these things. Every realm is completely different from one to the next. Character designs and armor sets are damn perfect. And I'll put a real good emphasis on armor sets there. You can change the customization of weapons, but it quite literally doesn't matter at all. The armor sets are sweet. Particularly this dragon waist and forearm combo with gold-plated chest was my favorite combo in the game. I know that they come with actual abilities from time to time, but just the aesthetic of this looks crazy cool. There's great visual slow-mo usage in this game. Two-tapping, charging at my shield and tapping him creates slow-mo. There's such things as realm shift. A lot of the moves in this game just feel strong. Once an enemy is fully stunned, you also get these sweet finishers.
Oh, looks like you're done. Open mouth! It's toothbrush time!
Nicely done.
But Ragnarok also boasts some pretty high audio, particularly in the voice acting. Kratos, Christopher Judge as Kratos, literally the greatest voice ever. Trust me, if you're a guy, you know you want this voice. You wish you had this voice.
The three of us will go.
Soundtracks here was my biggest complaint in 2018's God of War. Now, they did a better job here in Ragnarok, but it's still a pretty decent ways off. Set piece soundtracks, like in specific cutscenes or momentous moments, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Especially for me, because what I ended up doing is actually lowering the volume of everything in game pretty considerably except for music. So then I could turn my headset up and have the same volume for sound effects and stuff, but the music would be amplified. Now I did that because exploring the realms, it has a bit of a quieter soundtrack that comes and goes.
Another path then.
Bro, kind of small though. Might be magical.
They are a bit odd. What would you have us do about them?
I wish they took a page out of a game called Immortals Phoenix Rising, which has the one and only time I've ever seen this done. There's an option in Immortals Phoenix Rising to have the frequency of open world music be minimal, normal, or frequent. Now, I personally believe music is very important because it's on screen 100% of the time. It's always going to be there, so I would put that on frequent. Here in God of War Ragnarok, the music isn't really frequent, but that doesn't mean that there's an absence of sound. Because this is my second favorite thing in this game, is what I'm calling interactive dialogue.
With my brains, Kratos is drawn, and my lady's,
wisdom, magic, ability to tolerate you for long periods of time.
Truly, I was super impressed with a lot of dialogue in this game. It always comes at the perfect moment where nothing's happening.
Lad, am I right in getting the sense you've actually gotten to know Thor's daughter somewhat?
Yeah.
How the hell do you know that?
Wants to be a Valkyrie one day.
And the reason why I call it interactive is because it's like this super smart AI thing that reacts to your actions. Whether they're helping with puzzles, or telling stories, or doing funny jokes, or reacting to stuff that's happening in game, it is like the dialogue in this game is smart.
The ult! Ha! That is your big special move? Hilarious! Cowboy, do where I come! That's right. Show me all your stupid little tricks.
But also, visually, I gotta give a shout out to the map. Superb design here. Overall impact. This is a must play. You really can't get across how invested you'll be in the start of Ragnarok until you play this game. But it has a few things that keep it from being a 10 out of 10 for me. Apart from Odin revealing that he was Tyr, and a few other side things that made me jump out of my seat. There was no moment in this game where I was like, holy shit. I think that 2018's God of War had a better ending because of how insane it was. I almost feel like Ragnarok was holding its punches a little bit.
I have an idea! Boom! Die! Boom!
Boy? Well done, boy.
This kind of doubles back to Ragnarok's a little bit of a fizzle out, but I mean, I just wanted to see some crazy stuff happen. Thor at full power, Odin at full power versus Freya, Kratos, and Atreus. Bring the giant serpent in at some, like, there were, like, you know what I mean? You already know Thor's gonna flip on Odin in the end. You know Atreus isn't really siding with Odin, even though he went to Asgard and everything. Like, nothing was surprising for Atreus. Like, I wanted them, like, you know, it'd be crazy if he just like started a bar brawl. Oh my god!
Atreus is in like a full bar brawl. This is so good. Like, what is happening? This all started for no reason. Atreus has gone loose here.
But God of War Ragnarok, on the other hand, has great characters, mainly Kratos. You will be gripping your controller, breaking it in half with the high octane combat you'll get. Exploration, and I didn't mention before, but enemy variety here is sweet. My favorite enemies in the game have to be like these runic looking things. And the lead up to Ragnarok is like, you are ready for war. Like, let's go. This is what I'm here for. There's just so much to do and exploring throughout these realms. I can't stress that enough, how fun that is.
The sickly spirit.
No.
I'll eat this.
There was a time I could recall.
I will say, at the end of the game, when I finished, I had $500,000. Okay? I had everything upgraded, everything maxed. I wish there was a way to spend some money that wasn't directly linked to upgrading stuff. Because I have $500,000. But convert that $500,000 into a score for this game, and you get a very solid 8.9 out of 10. So that's it. God of War Ragnarok. I can't lie. I am so relieved Kratos lived. Where does God of War go from here? That's a crazy question to ask. My friend recommended this game to me, right? And then afterwards he said, this game makes me want to go back and play the original God of Wars, right? God of War 1, 2, and 3. And he's never played it. I've never played it. I gotta say the same thing. I definitely have the God of War original trilogy and even some of the spin-offs, I believe, on my list now. When will that happen? Probably a long time from now because my list is crazy. But for now, I'm your host, Cyberplay Entertainment, and I can't believe I'm saying I finished God of War Ragnarok. Hope you enjoyed this review. Peace out.
What the fuck? I did not expect that. Hey, that's my kill! That's my kill! Get the fuck back here!
That was ours.
Come on, dude.
It went back to its perch. Let's
Holy
go after it.
fuck.
What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.